Greetings to the educators, to the students, the young feminists. Congratulations on this conference. We are living at a critical time when the world has to almost begin again because of the extent of the impact of the pandemic we are living through. Young women in the world happen to be the majority of the citizens of the planet. In South Africa, women between the ages of 18 and 30 make about 1/3 of the population. That's a large number. That makes you a critical mass with the ability to shape the views of society. But of course, to achieve that, you have to be organized and you have to decide, what do you want your world to be? You are in school now, preparing for the future. It's not exactly the future that you'd have anticipated when you started school. There is going to be economic reconstruction, not just in South Africa, but in the whole world. So wherever you are, you need to be equipped to play a meaningful role. There is a need also for women's leadership, which is now not where it should be. In the last 2 decades in particular, we have fought and pushed for women's leadership, but we are still at 25% global average of women MPs, about 20% of global average of women who are managers in the private sector, of about 25% of women who make international policies, from peace agreements to environmental agreements and to international law. So the room and the role for women in your generation is significant, and you need to prepare for it. We also are living at a time when the pandemic has exposed the deep inequalities in our society. We have seen that those who do not have access to digital infrastructure are likely to be left behind. You have to be concerned about that, even though you may be fortunate to be in a better school, because there is one world. When one part of our society does not progress, it affects all of us. You have to be your sister's keeper. Pandemics like the one we're going through always have a gender dynamic, and this pandemic has been no different. We have seen more women dying who are health workers during this pandemic, because they are the majority who are nurses and in the front lines. They are the ones who clean, they are the ones who cook, and they tend not to receive adequate protection, PPE that is needed. And they are also underrepresented in the leadership of the strategies needed to fight the virus. In your time, that should not happen. We also have to make sure that women have an edge when it comes to technology. That is why the STEM subjects are important. And you must not be learning to be employed. You must learn to also be an employer as well as a policy maker. You must make sure that in the area of technology, you are influencing the making of applications, of software, of technology policies, because this is what is going to dominate our future. And you do not want technology policies that are gender blind. So there's a lot of things that you could do. You could look at it positively and see opportunities that you have time to prepare for and leverage, or you can see this as a crisis. Take a balanced view and see opportunities even in the midst of a crisis. You also have to be part of fighting gender-based violence and gender inequality in general. Do not accept sexist jokes. Do not accept to be quiet in a boardroom, in a meeting. Do not accept to be passed on for leadership when you have the competencies. It is your time, it is your place, take advantage of it. And of course, also play a role to influence young men so that your generation of men and women can make a difference when it comes to gender equality, but also when it comes into taking responsibility for making the world a better place. We are depending on you. You are fortunate to have the type of education that you are getting in your school, and to whom so much has been given, much more is expected. And remember, you always have to lift as you climb. Enjoy your conference.